since I'm sharing these dreams, things to pray about. I'm not making predictions. I'm not prophesying on any of this stuff. I'm just sharing my dreams. So I had this dream where President Trump was sitting in an audience, among an audience. He was, I was standing on this stage like a mouse in the corner, and I'm looking out at this auditorium, and it's this huge auditorium. It's as big as a football field. All these chairs are set up, folding chairs, and there's people sitting in these folding chairs, like waiting for something to happen, just looking forward towards the platform that I was standing on. And right in the front, sitting in the same, looking the same direction, sitting in the front, is former President Donald Trump. The whole assembly of people with lots of anticipation, just like he's about ready to launch, he's about ready to go and really go. And it was like maybe a Trump rally. And I'm looking at the scene, and Trump looks over at me, and then all of a sudden we hear I was facing Trump, so left to my right side of the shadows, and I can't see who it is. From out of the shadows, somebody says, "I'm running for president of the United States of America." And Trump looked over, and his eyes got as big as saucers, big round, just like, whoa. And he looks over at me and he says, I swear he said one of two things, I'm not quite sure. He said either that will split the party or that will split the vote. So I'm not sure which one he said. But he looked at me and it was like, oh my gosh, that will split the vote or that will split the party. And I was thinking, oh yeah, that will. I agreed with what he was saying, his assessment. But I was also thinking, like, I was looking at this scene, I'm going, he's getting ready to launch out and go for this presidency. And I'm thinking, it just doesn't, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Like, if it doesn't even feel right. Why doesn't this feel right, And I'm just standing there looking at it all. But then that happens. In the dream, literally thinking, split the party or split the vote. While splitting the vote, the only thing that could really split the vote that had any impact would be a third party that was on the conservative side. It would split the vote. We've had that happen before with when Perot in 1991, 92 ran for president. I think that he dropped out right at the last minute, so it didn't go right down to, it could have stolen the vote. It could have, when he dropped out, maybe people thought, forget it, A lot of people think or wonder and analyzed that election year with Clinton and Bush, that Perot maybe have caused Bush Sr. to lose his second term. But anyway, yeah, a third party would be devastating if they were if they were conservative. So it would be. I mean, it depends on who it would be. But if they were somebody that could sort of polarize the whole thing, cause people to just swing one way or the other, a third party, I mean, really, the Democrats, if they really wanted to crush this thing, if they could devise somehow influence someone to run independently on an independent ticket that was conservative or like a libertarian or something like that, that was popular, it could do a lot of damage. By default, the other side would win the election. Now, splitting the party, I don't know what scenario would really split the party. I mean, and why would this would be damaging? They would just, if they had people that ran for president, then they had the primaries, and then they would have the one that they would elect to nominate. I mean, to be the president that would run against the Democrats. Splitting the party, I don't see how that wouldn't be impactful to when it comes down to where the rubber meets the road. Somebody is going to be the one that is nominated, to run against the Democrats. So I don't know how that could be so devastating. But I don't know, split the party or split the vote. So that was the dream. Some kind of upset, a major upset, a serious upset, could possibly be coming in that regard. And then another dream that I had was that I was at this auditorium, and the speaker was Michelle Obama. I had this about 8 months ago. The speaker was Michelle Obama, and Barack Obama was also. They were sort of traveling together. He was sharing, speaking, she was speaking, but she was really on fire. I mean, she was really on fire for the women and rallying the feminists and all that. And she seemed to be more of the keynote speaker than Obama, but he wasn't completely out of the circle either. And so that they were filling up auditoriums wherever they were going. They were living out of a bus. That was the dream. They were living out of a bus, going from city to city, from one speaking engagement to another. And there was some kind of crazy thing where I happened to be standing in the dream outside of their bus. So she goes in, and I see through the door, and I'm standing there, and I'm just at the right angle, and I'm able to see something is an exchange of something that's kind of like occultic that's in there that I probably shouldn't have seen, but I've seen it. And I was like, what's that all about, That's weird, that's dark. I never thought of Michelle being somebody that would be involved in something like that. But anyway, the next scene, there's like this huge freeway, and for some reason I'm traveling behind, and I'm seeing the Obama bus way up there, and kind of felt like maybe being in California, just, the wide roads and the freeway, like you got 5-6 lane freeways and going both ways or either way. And anyway, I see the bus, and it's pulled over like the bus has been disabled, like something kind of happened. And then there was this car that it was almost like a car was involved in it. No, there was no fatalities or anything like that, but it was like a thing. And people were surrounding this vehicle, and I look inside this vehicle, and there's this actor in this vehicle that is recognizable, and he's recognizable for blowing the whistle on pedophilia in Hollywood. And I'm going, oh no, that guy, he's in that car. Oh, that's crazy. And that had this sort of thing that jacked up the bus that the Obamas were on, just kind of sidelined them. And for whatever reason, the roof was sheared off on this other car, but nobody was hurt. And the actor was kind of going off with his mouth, like saying things. There was a lot of people around listening to him and stuff, and he was whistleblowing still, and coming out with more stuff, I guess. And I don't know why, But Michael Douglas, the actor, Michael Douglas, was standing outside of the car, kind of looking around, looking at the whole scene himself, observing or whatever. He was just there. I don't know why. Maybe Michael. I don't know. Michael Douglas. I don't know. Maybe he's going to be in the news. He's been showing up on Instagram, I think, every once in a while, giving little tidbits of thoughts, whatever. So he's still around kicking and everything. But for some reason in this dream, there's different characters and people, and he was one of them that was like surrounding this car, hearing this guy's rhetoric and, checking out the scene and stuff. Now, when I had the dream of Obama's first 4 years, there was an actor that was in that dream in 2008. Prominent actor. If I said his name, everybody would know who he was. There was things going on with him, and he was the last person I saw, because I saw this long list of Hollywood people just standing in line waiting for their kudos, for really helping Obama get in and just connected with him and his administration, all that. But there was that one actor, and that was in 2008. In 2012, that particular actor, there was a newsworthy event with this actor that finished off the dream for the first 4 years. And in the summer of 2012, for Obama, it finished off basically the news, just like I saw in the dream 4 years before that. So that was interesting how that had that connection. In dreams, there are prophetic mileposts, prophetic earmarkings, and symbols that just basically tell you that this is where you're at. This is the mile marker you're at right here. Just like this came to pass in the dream that seemed a little bit insignificant, but it did come to pass, then the rest of the stuff is going to come to pass as well. I had one of those in the last 4 years with Obama. In the dream, I saw Obama with some kind of dealings with Cuba just before the end of his term, his second term. Obama tried to open up communications with Cuba, and there was a delegation of people that went over there and to try to bridge some things with Cuba, just like in the dream I had. Well, they went over there to Cuba, and a lot of people got injured by some kind of subsonic sound waves or whatever that gave them migraines and, busted their eardrums and, caused some medical problems with people. But that part did come to pass with his dealings with Cuba. And so anyway, what is this all about? What's that dream going to be all about? I don't know, but I'm thinking maybe that either Michelle Obama is going to be campaigning for somebody, or she's going to be running herself, or maybe she's going to be campaigning and just testing the waters and, to see where all this goes. The two of them busy doing that during this next election for 2024. And who knows, maybe if it picks up momentum, she might just throw her hat in the ring, or whatever. We'll have to watch and see, but I feel like that they're going to be very active in 2024 for the Democratic Party. But according to the dream, some old stuff sort of sidelines everything. So we'll see.